You are watching KEVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening, I'm Carolina Astrain. Amaya Norman has the night off. 5 people are injured after a helicopter went down at a Cars and Copters on the Coast event in Southern California. The Bell 222 helicopter was headed for the event and spiraled out of control as it began its descent over the parking lot in Huntington Beach. It got tangled in some palm trees and ended up hooked onto a stairway at a beachfront hotel. Police say 2 people on board made it out of the dangling aircraft, which witnesses say was smoldering but not on fire. 3 people were on the ground, also were taken to the hospital with injuries. 18 people are missing and believed to have died in an explosion at a munitions factory in rural Tennessee. ABC's Mola Lengi on the scene with the community as they come together tonight to pray for the victims.
Residents of this small rural community about 60 miles west of Nashville coming together to remember the missing from Friday's tragic explosion. The massive blast happened at 7:45 Friday morning at Accurate Energetic Systems, a facility with 80 employees that manufactured explosives. Rescue crews searched for survivors throughout the night, but officials now say they're working under the assumption that no one in the building survived the explosion.
We've had more than probably 300 people. It's done very delicate, very methodical things inside the scene. And at this time, we have recovered no survivors. It's a great loss to our communities.
The building completely leveled by the blast, cars in the parking lot charred. The explosion felt for miles. This Ring camera shows the shaking 11 miles away from the plant. Debris landing in Lauren Rourke's yard 4 miles away.
The whole house shook. I looked out my bedroom window and I could just see all kinds of insulation debris just falling down. It's all over our yard, all around the house.
Multiple agencies, including the FBI, ATF, and Homeland Security, are on scene as investigators work to determine what caused this deadly explosion. Officials stress the investigation will take time.
We were already going slow, and now we're slowing things down even more, just for safety for everybody.
Officials say the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is using rapid DNA technology to process the scene so families can be notified. Mola Lengi, ABC News, Bucksnort, Tennessee.
Let's go to Trey Mining now with a first look at your forecast. Trey, how's it looking?
Well, I'm feeling very nice on the outside with the low humidities. It was great today, sunny skies. Warm during the day, cool in the early morning hours. That'll be the case again tomorrow morning. And currently on the outside, temperature 73 degrees, Victoria, with the humidity climbing a little bit because it's that time of night when the humidity level is a little bit higher. But it'll still be nice and low humidity during the day tomorrow as well. And pretty clear on the radar, and don't expect any precipitation again tonight, mostly on the quiet side. Now we have a coastal flood advisory along the immediate coast, Calhoun County and Aransas County. On the Gulf facing beaches, there may be some overwash on some of the roads there, so be aware of that if that applies to you. For us here, looking nice, feeling nice too, but how long will it last? When's the rain coming back, if it is at all? Eventually it will, but will it be this coming up week? We'll find out later on in the full forecast. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. Several counties in our area are under a burn ban. Officials in Goliad, DeWitt, Lavaca, Wharton, and Victoria counties are not allowing outdoor burning due to dry conditions and increased fire danger. Residents are urged to avoid open flames or outdoor fires and be mindful when working outdoors with equipment that could spark or overheat until conditions improve. Violating a burn ban can lead to fines and penalties. The Great Gobbler Gallop kicked off this morning at the intersection of Main Street and Esplanade just before the Turkey Fest parade. The event featured a head-to-head race between Paycheck of Worthington, Minnesota and Ruby Begonia of Cuero, competing for the coveted title of the world's fastest turkey. State Representative A.J. Louderback waved the green flag to signal the start, and the 2 turkeys sprinted down the street in a fierce race. In the end, Paycheck emerged victorious as this year's fastest turkey. A coastal celebration took place in Calhoun County this morning with the first cultivated oyster mariculture crop tour. Experts from the Texas AgriLife Extension Office, Texas Sea Grant, Texas Parks and Wildlife, and the Oyster and Recovery Center took part in the event. Participants got to take a tour of the Three Sisters Oyster Company Oyster Nursery in Olivia, and there was also an oyster shucking demonstration. U.S. troops are now in Israel to monitor the fragile ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Palestinians are returning to their homes. ABC's Perry Russum shares how they are picking up the pieces.
Israelis anxiously waiting for the remaining hostages to be freed as that 72-hour deadline for their release approaches. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, who both helped negotiate Phase 1 of the ceasefire agreement, speaking to tens of thousands gathered in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv late Saturday.
We honor the families of the hostages. Each and every one of you have carried the moral weight of this nation.
It's been a tremendous burden that I felt to see these hostages come home, to see their families get the closure they deserve and to end this nightmare.
The crowd thanking President Trump. Thank you, Trump. Ivanka Trump delivering a message from her father.
And the president wanted me to share, as he has with so many of you personally, that he sees you, he hears you, he stands with you.
As part of this first phase of the ceasefire, Israeli forces have partially withdrawn to the agreed-upon yellow line. Tens of thousands of Palestinians displaced by the war, then heading north, back to what's left of their lives. But much of Gaza is in ruins. According to the UN, 92% of the buildings there have either been damaged or destroyed in this 2-year-long war. 15-year-old Youssef is optimistic. He says he is hopeful they will bring in caravans and tents and people will start rebuilding Gaza. The ceasefire also calls for an immediate surge of humanitarian aid into Gaza. As UN-backed experts say, 500,000 Palestinians are starving, which Israel denies. President Trump is preparing to visit the region sometime next week, where he's expected to meet with Israeli officials and then host a summit of world leaders in Egypt. Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
Here's a clarification to a story we brought to you earlier this week. A crash involving 3 vehicles happened Thursday evening at the intersection of Navarro and Mockingbird. Victoria police say a white pickup towing a trailer was turning when it was hit by a red vehicle that police say was traveling at a high rate of speed, causing the truck to flip on its side. 4 people were involved and taken to the hospital but are expected to be okay. A brush fire in northern Victoria County is now fully contained. Officials say the fire burned through 66 acres along Parsons Road and no structures were damaged. Crews from the Victoria Fire Department, 6 area volunteer departments, the County Fire Marshal, Emergency Management, and the Texas Forest Service all work together to bring it under control. Cleanup operations are underway and drivers are still asked to avoid the area. 3 people are under arrest in Karnes County. Deputies shut down an illegal gambling operation. The sheriff's office says a search warrant was executed at the game room off U.S. Highway 181 near Otto Kaiser Memorial Hospital. Inside, investigators say they found several illegal gambling machines and paraphernalia. 3 suspects were taken into custody: Marissa Jaramillo, Juana Flores Araiza, and Karen Flores Araiza. The sheriff's office says illegal gambling violates both state law and county ordinance. A statewide hiring event is coming to Victoria. The Texas Workforce Commission and Workforce Solutions are hosting the 14th annual Hiring Red, White, and You event, connecting veterans, military spouses, and job seekers with employers ready to hire. It's happening November 12th at the Emerging Technology Complex. Doors open at 9:30 with early access for veterans and spouses from 10 to 10:30. It's free to attend and you can sign up through Workforce Solutions Golden Crescent. Texas A&M Victoria has its first president. The Texas A&M University System Board of Regents unanimously confirmed Florida Higher Education Administrator Christian Hardigree as the first president of A&M Victoria. The Regents unanimously named Hardigree the sole finalist at a September 18th meeting. Hardigree was a regional chancellor for the University of South Florida St. Petersburg. Hardigree was criticized by some conservatives for language in her work history that references diversity and equity. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Parker Cox and I will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. And coming up, a heartfelt tribute took place on the Field of Honor today, bringing the community together to recognize those who serve and protect.
Wasn't it a nice day today? It sure was. Temperature 91 degrees. Yes, it was warm. Look at the low last night, 57 degrees, very fall-like. You get close to that in the morning time as well. And under rainfall for the month, only 1/4 of an inch so far in October, still under over an inch. And above normal for the year, more rain headed our way. Eventually, not anytime real soon, but we'll tell you the timeline coming up in the full forecast.
Nonprofit dedicated to supporting wounded veterans of global wars invited the community to come out to the Field of Honor to recognize veterans, active duty service members, and veterans and military families. Colonel Mike Petrosh says one family donated all the flags on a whole side of the field. Thin red and blue line flags were planted to honor local law enforcement and first responders as well.
What a great day it's been. We've had hundreds of volunteers come out here posting flags. As you can see, this is probably one of the earliest that we've had it, as far advanced as it has been. So it's just been a great day.
For those interested in donating more flags to the Field of Honor in honor of a loved one that is serving, Petrosh added that it's not too late to sponsor. Former Victoria County Judge Don Posey died Wednesday at the age of 81. Posey served as Victoria County Judge from 2003 to 2014. Posey practiced law in Victoria for 33 years before his election as county judge. In 2014, he was honored by the Chamber of Commerce as an Outstanding Citizen of the Year. Posey served his community on many boards from 1974 to 2023. Victoria County Judge Ben Zeller issued the following statement regarding the passing of Judge Posey. There is no doubt that he loved Victoria County deeply. In his decades as a local attorney and leader, Judge Posey helped countless people and made many friends. I am truly grateful for the kindness he showed me over the years, and I respect his service to our community. End quote. An Oscar-winning actress, Diane Keaton, has died at the age of 79. Diane Keaton rose to fame with her roles in The Godfather and Annie Hall. The latter gave her an Oscar win in 1977. She was nominated 3 more times for her roles in Reds, Marvin's Room, and Something's Gotta Give. Tributes poured in after the news of her death, some describing her as kind, magic, and a spark of life. Keaton is survived by her adopted daughter and son. And members of the military will get their paychecks next week despite the ongoing government shutdown. President Trump said today he is directing Defense Department officials to pay members of the military on October 15th, and it appears the money is coming from the Defense Department Research and Development Funds. The R&D money could stretch to cover 2 years of payroll. Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, or Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus.
And a quiet night once again. No rain in the forecast for tonight or tomorrow as well. Pretty quiet overall expected. Nice temperatures though, especially in the morning time, nice and cool. This is a flood advisory, coastal flood advisory along the Gulf-facing beaches of Catalina County and down to Aransas County and further south from there. Some overwash coming in from the Gulf from high wave action there. But quiet overall for Victoria. Will it stay that way? We'll find out in the full forecast. And good evening, everyone. Trey Mining here. Good to be back, and good weather to boot with that coming up next several days like we've had this weekend. So enjoy that. But rain is coming back eventually. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the forecast here. Temperature is pretty much consistent for the next several days, about 90 degrees or so, with the cool mornings. Definitely enjoying that. And with that, yes, it'll be 90 degrees or so in the afternoons coming up like it has been, but it won't be that oppressive because the humidity levels during the day will be quite low. so making it feel more tolerable out there. Humidity increasing a little bit, simply because it's nighttime, a little bit of moisture coming off the Gulf, as you see, with the humidity levels a little bit drier to the north, but 75%, running to about 60 to 80% along the immediate coast, which is typical for this time of year, but they'll be mostly dry during the afternoon and daytime hours. Okay, feel like temperature not bad at all in the 60s. Feeling very nice on the outside of Victoria. Nice evening, and it'll be that way coming up in the overnight tonight for your day tomorrow, and pretty much the same goes. A little southerly wind flow coming in, trying to come through a little bit, but not deep enough in the atmosphere to really affect the humidity levels too much, so we'll be enjoying the nice weather for the next couple of days. It feel like temperatures even during the afternoon, 11 o'clock or so to about noontime or so, will be about 90 degrees or so. No triple digits, so it's very comfortable on the outside, keeping it dry and sunny and looking pretty nice overall. And looking at the tropics, still nothing too much to we worry about. Remnants of Jerry, which was a tropical storm, are still there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, headed to the north, and it's beginning to fade out now. Watching another disturbance, not in the Gulf of Mexico, of course, but way out here in the Atlantic Ocean off the African coast. Looks like it may be trying to get organized. We'll keep watching this one as it continues to move to the west. May have some potential for development. High pressure in our region here, giving us the nice weather, and the high pressure, kind of the wind flow around it just like this. Have rain all the way out to the west with some tropical moisture coming in from Arizona and Old Mexico and the El Paso area. It'll pretty much stay out there because high pressure is going to block it. But we have a southerly wind flow trying to begin a little bit with a slow increase in humidity in the next couple of days. But overall, feeling pretty nice. Future tracker coming up. Clear skies tonight. Looking pretty nice and overall, and feeling nice too. Don't see any rain anytime soon, so we'll keep it mostly dry through your day tomorrow and through most of the week overall. And for your Victoria, plan my day for Sunday. Sunny skies to start about 9 a.m. or so. No clouds in the sky, maybe a few at best. Sunny all the way across the board. Temperature is near 90 degrees for the daytime high, like we've had today. Port Lavaca, pretty much in the same boat. Clear skies to start about 6 a.m. Sunny skies all day long. Highs near 90 degrees. And also in Quail, looking pretty nice there as well, with Turkey Fest going on. Sunny skies, as you see right there, through 3 o'clock in the afternoon, near 90 degrees. And the extended forecast for us here, looking pretty nice overall. Nice week ahead. Get out there and enjoy it. Maybe some rain chances coming in slowly but surely, coming up by Friday and Saturday. Lows feeling nice in the 60s, maybe some low 60s by midweek. Take a look at this right here, of course. As you know, we want you to scan the QR code on the screen. That will guide you to a website where you can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, free of charge as well to be connected with us. Long time no see, Ray Robinson. Give us some sports.
Thank you, Trey. We're glad to have you back. Coming up in sports, we're talking to Cord and Landon after their big victory against London, and see what top plays we have for your top 3 plays for Week 7. Coming up in sports. The Goliad Tigers continue their undefeated streak in district after demolishing London. Final score 61-7. A victory like this is only adding more fuel to the fire that is the Tigers.
Cleaned up on offense. We finally took care of business and did what we were supposed to do, but try not to have any negative yards on offense. Every time we have one of those, it always ruins the drive. We try to just keep the drive going. That's what we got to keep.
Man, I do what coach tells me to and try to go off that. Try to adjust while the play's going. We really had to step up our man game. A lot of pass coverage. We're not used to a whole lot of pass. And really, I just got to thank the secondary and me stepping in the box. That's really it.
And speaking of Goliad High School, how about we talk about the future and what it could potentially look like at Memorial Stadium? I don't think we have the video here, but let's just talk about it. There it is. That's right. I'm talking about the Goliad Tigers. They went on head-to-head with Sinton. This is the Little League, and the future of Tiger football looks really bright. The sophomore squad putting on a show dominates Sinton with the final score of 38-0. Now be sure to tune in tomorrow too as we highlight the Victoria Titans football team. They were out on the field as well, and they had an exciting game. All right, and Week 7 top 3 plays of the week features our athletes getting downfield in a decent amount of time. The likes of Ganado and Victoria West and Etna all making the list, so the talent without question is all there. And you can call this week a rushing spectacle because the great things about these highlights is they all end in a touchdown. Kicking things off with your top play for number 3, and it takes us to Weimar, where Grenado was battling them in a district matchup. A simple handoff to Logan Smokey Burris. Watch as he just flurries to the right, and then he conducts the Weimar defense in a change of direction within the middle of the field, getting downfield with the boost of speed for an Indian touchdown. We don't have the video, but just, we're going to work with this here. As Edna continues to flip the script in district play, look for players like Keegan Hicks, as he is one of the key players to lead the way in his speed. Hicks once again finds himself in the top plays of the week with his speed. After receiving a punt, he avoids a few defenders, and he was able to break loose for a fast run along the sidelines into the end zone for a Cowboys touchdown. And your top play of the week for Week 7 takes us to Memorial Stadium, where West squared off against Alamo Heights. West tight end Andrew Henley, with his perfect blend of size and speed, he bulldozed his way through a sea of jerseys, and it wasn't a question on if he would reach the end zone. It was just a matter of when. And spoiler alert, you didn't have to wait long. Big shout out to Andrew Henley for snagging this week's top play of the week. And we're still diving into an eventful and football season, but our friends at Crossroads Sports Center are also getting ready for high school basketball this morning. They hosted a showcase featuring most of the schools from the Crossroads area, with both boys and girls continuing to hit the court from east and west. Both teams had a crazy showdown. The game ended with a tie, and they had to settle it in a sudden death shootout where the winner took it to 5. Goliad played East, and on the girls' side, Tidehaven battled both victorious schools, and they were out there competing early. Crossroads Sports Centers continue to help set the stage. Looks to be a promising basketball season in South Texas. And for some college football news, the Texas Longhorns are looking to bounce back in a big way, and this unfortunately came at the expense of my fellow Oklahoma Sooners. Texas playing elite defense on the newly returned John Mateer, and he was just out for 17 days. Longhorns Malik Muhammad catching one of 3 interceptions that was thrown by Mateer. Texas wins the game. Final score, 23-6. The Longhorns will play Kentucky next week. The time is to be determined. But that does it for your sports. Carolina?
I'm so sorry about your Oklahoma team, Ray. Missouri lost too, if that's any condolence. Still to come on 25 News Now after the game. An early morning event brought runners and supporters out in full force for a special fundraiser. Stay tuned to see how the day unfolded.